Alright guys, what's going on? Insanity coming back at you today with some more kill confirmed gameplay on the map Downhill. And if you haven't downloaded the new Revolution DLC map pack yet, you're really missing out. I mean, it's a great way to spice up your multiplayer experience as well as continue destroying all the zombie horde, with a new map which is really innovative in the way that you get around and how diverse and how you can get lost so easily, as well as that new little weapon that so many people are still using, but many people have already gotten away with. I personally don't use the Peacekeeper anymore. It was great to use the first week, but now I just wanted to continue my road to diamond camo and everything else. So let's go ahead and get into what was going on with this. As you all know, I was on vacation for a good week, so I didn't get to play any games or anything like that while I was gone, and I didn't get to get any footage for you. So this is some new stuff that I was trying to get a hold of, and although my actual KDR isn't that great in this match, I have to say just the little experience I was getting with, really screwing up everyone's fun time, really made me happy. I mean, I truly believe that if you're going to try and boost your way up to Master Prestige, I mean, that's really sad. Don't get me wrong, I did do a Prestige glitch way back in Modern Warfare 2, and I hosted lobbies for people doing that as well back in the day, and I mean, it's great and it's fun, but now that Treyarch and, Infinity Ward and all these companies aren't taking modding and hacking very well anymore with all this banning and resetting, it's just a pain in the butt and it ain't worth your time. So, while I was playing around, if you head all the way over to the far west, region of the map, you're going to run into this two-story little building or house or whatever it may be. And in there, I was just, I noticed I saw a little red dot appear, and I was just heading that way to try and get a couple kills or so. And long and behold, when I made my way up the stairs, I instantly saw a tactical insertion, so no big deal. I thought, oh, it's just a sniper maybe in the window trying to snipe their way, all the way down through the snowy terrain to try and pick people off closer to, like, the gondolas or whatever it is they're doing. And that totally wasn't the case. There was someone on my team right there with them, just kind of, sitting around, shooting back and forth, trying to get headshots or whatever it may be to try and boost their camos. And it's really sad, guys, that we're still having to resort to this. I mean, Call of Duty is supposed to be a fun and engaging experience for all, and y'all are still ruining it. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for, modding and hacking games and having a good time, but to just sit there and try and get gold camo as quickly as you can on everything, just so that you can be like, oh, I earned diamond camo. No, you didn't. You totally cheated your way, and I was very happy and ecstatic to come back to Call of Duty, and I was a little upset to run into crap like this. I was hoping, oh, maybe by some miracle, someone's going to change, and everyone's going to be like, oh, we're not going to boost anymore, but that is not the case. So I'm very happy to know that I broke up their party like 3 or 4 times and killed tactical insertions and just pretty much shoved my fist up their butt and said, hey, stop boosting, you little bitches, and play the game the right way. I mean, that's really annoying that we can try and bust our ass all day long to try and get these headshots or, do the correct things in order to get the camos that we want, while they're just cheating their happy ass way to get what they are hoping that they want to say that they earned, even though they didn't really earn it. So, now that I'm past my little boosting rant, let's go ahead and talk about the good stuff and the juicy goodness of gaming rumors that are still swirling around right now. The big issue, well, I don't want to call it an issue, I want to call it like an exciting thing that everyone's going gaga goo goo and drooling over, is this new PlayStation 4 or PlayStation successor, because we really don't know if the PlayStation 4 is going to be the correct title for the next generation console from Sony, but the prototype controller has been leaked. It's by an unknown source. No one knows where it really came from. It just kind of popped up, and it looks like it's plugged into a USB port on some extremely old PC, which we all know isn't the case. It's going to have the guts of what is going to be very similar to what the next PlayStation is going to be holding. Now, from that, you're going to get a couple of new experiences. One, there's a couple of different images that have surfaced on the internet the past 24 hours or so, and everyone's got different ideas. There's some that split apart, there's some with no joysticks, there's parts with this color bar across the top. There's a part with like a little screen and a speaker. And what does all this mean for everyone, and what could it possibly be doing in the future of games? So, in my opinion, I can see this a controller where joysticks are still going to be there, because if they get rid of joysticks, it's going to completely feel like a totally bland and horrible experience, and it's going to be like taking a step backwards to like 1990, like 4 or 5, when the SNES was king and all you had was a D-pad, which isn't a bad thing. It's just we've come, accustomed to using analog sticks on a daily basis, and if you take those away, it's going to completely change, the way people feel about playing games and how you would play a first-person shooter and things like that. We all know from trying to play first-person shooters on the PlayStation Portable, it was a horrible experience. No matter how much or how often they tried to change the game, it was still crappy with one joystick, or in this case, it would just be a D-pad. So, I really do feel the joysticks are going to stay, and we are going to have some type of touch interface, which was in one of the prototypes that has been seen all over the internet, where it'll have a little touch screen that's going to go across the middle of the top of the controller with a tiny little speaker, maybe right below it, or, right in the center, where the PlayStation button would be on a DualShock 3 controller. Now, there's this other thing that's like on the very, very top where the L1, L2, and R1 and R2 buttons would be, and it's right across the center. It's this big glowy light, which could be multiple colors, kind of like the PlayStation Move, in which case you can wind up seeing games that are going to implicate, a much better experience with motion while not having the need of an actual PlayStation Move controller, or maybe it's going to completely change the experience of how the 6-axis stuff was going to work. I still see the 6-axis, being built into the controller as a great way to do gyro while you're playing a game, but, I can see better motion tracking from those lights with with like a PlayStation Eye or whatever camera system they plan on using with this next PlayStation. There's a lot of concerns of what we're going to see on February 20th, and I do believe that it's just concrete details from all the evidence and the leaked prototypes that we're getting that we are going to officially see Sony's next, generation successor console, whatever it's going to be called. We're going to see the new controller, and we're going to get some amazing game announcements. Now, there's a couple of companies that have been really quiet and not really showcasing what they're doing lately. And this is where I really do believe that we're going to get the official reveal, and with maybe a little bit of actual, like video footage or gameplay that hopefully isn't CGI, because we want to see physical, textures and what this thing's going to be able to handle. And it's where Insomniac Games is going to try and do some major revamping of the Resistance series. Just trying to showcase a difference between Resistance 1 and how it looked when the PlayStation 3 launched, and then re-rendering that in a PlayStation 4 console just to showcase the difference. But that is just going to be like a little tech demo just to kind of throw everybody off. Everyone's going to be like, what the hell? The Resistance series is done. Insomniac isn't doing that crap anymore. So this is where Sucker Punch really comes out and showcases the big guns and says, hey, everyone loved the Infamous series. 1 and 2 were a great experience. Everyone's still really confused at the end of 2 of what is going on and how the series would ever continue. And it'll be some type of gameplay cinematic that won't be CGI, but it's going to answer everyone's question of what happened to Cole, what is going on, what is happening with his, companions that he was with, and why Infamous 3 is real and why it's happening. The other big title that, everyone is expecting to be shown is Killzone 4, and still to this day, there is not a first-person shooter that has come out that has matched the graphics, capability of what Killzone 3 offers on a console. Now, that's going to change come next week when Crysis 3 hits stores, and we all get blown away by how amazing Crysis 3 is going to look. I mean, I played the game already. I played the alpha and the multiplayer betas that came out, and it was a wonderful experience. Now, I can't wait for February 20th. I hope you can either. I'm going to have more crap on the way, more controller stuff, more game rumors, all that shit. If you enjoyed the gameplay, guys, go ahead and give the video a like. If you want to hear about more stuff, go ahead and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.